Hawkeye falls. But was he ever really gone? Superman's fury ignites as shadows of deception twist reality. Alien schemes and lifelike clones blur the line between friend and foe. Every revelation shatters trust, alliances, and the fate of heroes. In the ultimate showdown, truth explodes, and nothing is as it seems. The fatal mistake. The city was burning. Skyscrapers cracked under the shockwaves of a battle no one could fully understand. Superman hovered above, eyes blazing like molten steel, fists clenched, every heartbeat echoing the fury building inside him. Below, Hawkeye fell, an arrow slipping from his fingers, his body crumpling to the cracked asphalt. Blood bloomed across the concrete like a dark, mocking rose. No one moved. The chaos paused, as if the world itself had frozen to witness the moment. Superman's chest heaved. His hands, the same hands that had saved countless lives, now trembled with horror. "No, no," he roared, his voice ripping through the air like thunder. He landed beside Hawkeye, scanning the hero for life signs. Nothing. Nothing but silence and a growing, unbearable weight. But then, a shadow moved in the corner of his vision. Not a person, not a thing he recognized, just a flicker. A whisper echoed in his mind. Not everything is as it seems. Superman turned, eyes narrowing, scanning the rooftops. Nothing. And yet, that whisper dug into his skull like a jagged knife. Was it guilt, fear, or something worse? The crowd below screamed, some running, some frozen, some filming the horror on their devices. Superman's senses, faster than any human could comprehend, detected movement. But it wasn't Hawkeye. Not really. The body on the ground, it moved. Just slightly. A flicker. A twitch. Superman froze, heart hammering, hope and terror colliding inside him. Could it be? No, it had to be a trick, a shadow, a clone, a hallucination. It had to be. Yet before he could process, an explosion ripped through a nearby building. Dust and debris showered the streets. From the smoke, a figure emerged. Alien. Twisted. Something no human I should ever see. Its skin shimmered with unnatural hues, colors that didn't exist in nature, pulsing like a living nightmare. Its eyes locked on Superman. And in that moment, every ounce of fury, every pang of guilt, every thread of dread fused into one single unstoppable need, to destroy whatever was responsible. Superman took off, faster than sound, faster than light, smashing through the air toward the alien. Buildings shook beneath him. Cars flipped. Sirens screamed. People screamed. But he didn't care. Hawkeye had fallen, or at least he seemed to have, and Superman wasn't about to let anyone else die. The alien laughed. Not a sound any human could produce, but a vibration that crawled into the very bones. "He's not gone," it said, or maybe it didn't. Maybe it just made Superman think it. "You've already failed, and you don't even know it." Superman slammed into the alien, fists colliding with armor that seemed to absorb every ounce of strength he had. The impact sent shockwaves through the streets, shattering glass and toppling signs. The alien staggered back, but then split or multiplied. Multiple images flickered across the skyline. Clones? Illusions? Every brain synapse screamed confusion, but Superman's rage refused to pause. He swung again and again and again, each strike fueled by the image of Hawkeye's motionless body. And then he saw it, the arrow still lodged in the ground, pointing toward the alley where the alien had vanished. Superman followed it, leaping from building to building, each landing shaking the pavement. He burst into the alley and froze. Hawkeye was there, not dead, not even hurt. He was crouched behind a dumpster, arrow knocked, eyes wide with fear and confusion. "Superman," Hawkeye whispered, voice trembling. I don't know what's happening." Rage collided with relief. Superman's fists shook, not from anger this time, but from the shock, the betrayal, the impossible truth. "You're alive," he growled, barely recognizing his own voice. "How what?" Before Hawkeye could answer, the alien's voice boomed from all around them, twisting reality. "You've been blind. All of you. The death, the fear, It was never real. You were puppets, dancing to a song you didn't hear. Superman's eyes glowed red. He didn't understand yet, not fully. But he knew one thing. The fight had just begun. Hawkeye's death was only the opening move in a war that would test every hero's limits, their trust, and their sanity. The city groaned as more explosions erupted in the distance. Superman and Hawkeye exchanged a tense glance. Friend or foe? Who could they trust? They didn't have time to ask. The alien was already orchestrating the next wave. And somewhere deep inside, Superman felt the first seeds of a terrifying realization. The world he knew had ended the moment Hawkeye fell. As they sprinted toward the next threat, the shadows whispered again. Not everything is as it seems. But this time, Superman didn't just hear it. He felt it. In his rage, in his confusion, in his unshakable desire to protect those he loved, he understood. Nothing could prepare him for the nightmare unfolding, and Hawkeye's death, or non-death, was only the beginning. And so the city burned. The heroes ran. The alien watched. And somewhere in the chaos, Superman's rage promised one thing. This mistake would be avenged, no matter the cost. Hidden truths. The city still smoldered. Smoke curled into the sky like dark fingers, hiding the sun, casting everything in an uneasy twilight. Superman hovered over the streets, fists still trembling from rage, eyes scanning for any hint of danger. Hawkeye was beside him, alive but pale, shaken to the core. Every step they took revealed destruction, chaos, and the remnants of what should have been a battlefield. But something about it felt wrong. Something's off, Hawkeye whispered, his voice tight. That wasn't just an alien. Something else is behind this. Something bigger. Superman didn't reply. He didn't need to. His eyes were already searching, senses sharper than ever. He detected subtle anomalies, tiny distortions in reality, fluctuations in the air, vibrations too precise to be random. The aliens' illusions weren't over. They were just beginning. Their path led them to a shattered building on the outskirts, a lab no longer functional, or so it seemed. The walls were scorched, glass shattered, but inside, machinery blinked and hummed, eerie lights flickering like silent warnings. Superman descended cautiously, scanning every corner. Hawkeye stayed close, arrow knocked, fingers trembling slightly. Then he saw it, a screen flickering with images. Clones, lifelike duplicates of heroes they knew, moving, breathing, reacting, but not alive. Not real. Superman's jaw tightened. They're testing us, experimenting, he muttered. The weight of Hawkeye's so-called death crashed down on him like an avalanche. From the shadows, a voice hissed, mechanical yet eerily human. Curious, aren't you? Superman spun, fists ready, but there was nothing, just shadows stretching unnaturally across the lab floor. Then the voice came again, closer. You think you've saved him? You think you know who's alive, but you don't even understand the rules of the game. Hawkeye's eyes widened. Rules? What game? Before anyone could react, holograms flickered on all walls, showing the city, the streets, and the chaos they'd just escaped. But in each corner, heroes they knew fell, or appeared to fall, in slow motion. The images twisted, loops of deaths that didn't happen. Hawkeye's fall, Superman strikes. They had all been observed, recorded, manipulated. Superman's fist shook. This is bigger than I imagined. His mind raced, connecting fragments. The whisper, the clones, the illusions, Hawkeye's fall. Someone was orchestrating every move, every mistake, for reasons he couldn't yet fathom. A metallic click echoed. From behind the machinery, a figure emerged. Not fully alien, not fully human, a hybrid. Its eyes gleamed with a cruel intelligence. You're too slow, Superman. You always react before you think. That weakness is the key to your downfall. Superman surged forward, but the hybrid vanished, shifting, teleporting, impossible to track. Hawkeye fired arrows, each one harmlessly phasing through empty air. What the hell is that thing? He shouted. The hybrid's laughter echoed through the lab. I'm a messenger, a teacher, a reminder. Every hero has a limit. Every mind can be manipulated. Every death can be fabricated. Superman clenched his jaw, anger and fear battling inside him. "Stop toying with us." The hybrid raised a clawed hand, and suddenly the images around them transformed. Hawkeye's body, his death, was replayed in gruesome detail, but then it flickered, glitching. Pieces of the real Hawkeye appeared behind the illusion, alive, trembling, but restrained by invisible forces. Superman lunged, but the hybrid dissolved the illusion again, leaving only shadows. "This is only the beginning," the hybrid whispered. "Do you understand? You can't trust your eyes. You can't trust your instincts. You can't even trust your friends." Hawkeye swallowed hard. "So my death, it was fake?" His voice cracked. "It was all a test." Superman's voice was low, dangerous. "Not a test, a trap. And we walked right into it." The hybrid's laughter echoed louder. "Exactly. And now, you will see how easily heroes can be broken. You will see how fragile trust truly is. Soon, the world will believe you failed. Soon, your rage will be your own undoing." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the lab. Lights flashed red. Machines whirred faster, pumping energy into unknown conduits. Superman's eyes scanned the area. Hawkeye was at his side, but even he could feel the growing tension, the sense that time was slipping away. "Superman," Hawkeye said, voice urgent, "whatever this is, we need to get out. Figure out who's really behind this, before it's too late." Superman nodded, but his gaze lingered on the flickering shadows, the illusions, the clones. "We're not just fighting an alien. We're fighting reality itself." And in that moment, the hybrid reappeared, looming over them, its eyes glowing with malevolent triumph. "The truth is hidden, heroes. And the more you search for it, the deeper the chaos becomes. Are you ready to face what comes next?" Superman's fists clenched, the energy of the city reflected in his glowing eyes. "I'm ready. No one, no trick, no illusion, no alien will stop me from finding the truth. And if you've taken Hawkeye, I will tear this city apart to get him back." The hybrid tilted its head, as if amused by his determination. "We shall see." Outside, the city groaned under the weight of their chaos. Fires burning, sirens screaming, citizens fleeing. Superman and Hawkeye stood in the ruins of the lab, ready to face the next wave. But one thing was certain. What had started as a single mistake, Hawkeye's apparent death, had spiraled into something far more sinister. The rules had changed. The battlefield had expanded, and reality itself had become their enemy. As they stepped toward the exit, a new whisper threaded through the air. "The deeper you dig, the more dangerous the truth becomes." Superman's rage ignited anew. Whatever this hybrid, or whatever mastermind, was planning, he would confront it. And Hawkeye? He would not be a pawn. Not this time. Alien deception. The city groaned like a wounded beast. Fires painted the streets orange, smoke curling into the sky like a warning. Superman hovered above, every nerve taut, eyes scanning for the alien that had toyed with him and Hawkeye. The hybrid's words burned in his mind. You can't trust your eyes or your friends. Every instinct screamed danger, but Superman's rage drove him forward. Forward into the unknown, forward into deception itself. Hawkeye's voice broke through the chaos. "Superman, look!" Ahead, multiple figures stood, Hawkeye, Iron Man, even Batman, but something was wrong. Their movements were jerky, unnatural, their eyes glassy. Clones. Illusions. The hybrid had perfected its craft, manipulating reality to make allies appear enemies, turning trust into doubt, certainty into confusion. Superman's fists ignited with heat. "Stop it. None of you are real." He lunged forward, smashing one clone into the pavement. The illusion shattered, pieces of holographic light flickering and fading. But the others multiplied, doubling, tripling, filling the streets like a living nightmare. Each attack he threw, each punch, seemed to spawn another phantom. "Rage won't help you." The hybrid's voice whispered from every direction, a chorus of cruelty. "You see death, you see betrayal, but it's all a reflection of your own fear." Superman's vision narrowed, scanning for a pattern, a weak point. And then he saw it. The clones flickered in a rhythm, a subtle pulse emanating from one central point. A tall, dark tower rising through the heart of the city, its surface twisting unnaturally, bending light, absorbing the chaos around it. The alien's base. The source. Hawkeye knocked an arrow, aiming at the tower. We need to get there. That's where it's controlling everything. Superman nodded, eyes glowing red. Stay close. And don't trust what you see. Nothing here is real. The flight to the tower was a gauntlet. Clones attacked, looping in impossible ways, shadows of themselves striking from angles that defied physics. Superman smashed through one, only to have two more take its place. Hawkeye fired arrows, which phased harmlessly through the illusions. Every second, Superman's rage climbed higher, but now it was tempered with strategy, of furious precision. At the base of the tower, the hybrid appeared, towering, grotesque, eyes blazing like molten cores. "Welcome, hero," it hissed. "You've finally seen the truth, and now you will witness your greatest failure." Superman charged, fists colliding with the alien's armor. Sparks flew, shockwaves rolling through the streets, shattering windows, toppling cars. But the alien didn't move as expected. Each strike Superman landed seemed to fuel it, feeding its power from his anger. Hawkeye dodged debris, firing arrows that now burned into the alien's illusion projections, shattering small pockets of the facade, revealing fragments of the real world behind. Then it struck. A psychic pulse, invisible but crushing, slammed into Superman's mind. Images of Hawkeye's death replayed, blood, collapse, horror, mixed with visions of Superman himself failing, powerless, helpless. His fists faltered, his vision wavered. Doubt crept in like poison. Was it real? Was Hawkeye really safe? Hawkeye's voice cut through the mental storm. "Focus, Superman. It's lying. It's all lies." Superman shook off the illusions, eyes blazing anew. "You're wrong," he growled. "I trust you, and I will end this." With a surge of power, he smashed through the alien's defense, tearing down one section of the tower. Behind the walls, the real Hawkeye appeared, restrained by energy binds, alive but weak. Superman's rage boiled over, a supernova of fury and relief, and he ripped the energy restraints apart with a single gesture. The hybrid recoiled, rage flashing in its unnatural eyes. "No, you are not supposed to find him." But the damage was done. Hawkeye stepped forward, arrow knocked, his confidence returning. Superman hovered beside him, fists still trembling, rage tempered now by purpose. They could see the hybrid's control weakening, the illusions flickering like dying embers. "This isn't over," the hybrid snarled. "You've only scratched the surface. Your friends, your city, your reality, all of it is mine to manipulate. And the next move will break you in ways you cannot imagine." Superman's jaw clenched. "Then I'll adapt. I'll fight. I'll protect them, no matter what tricks you use." The hybrid dissolved into smoke, retreating, leaving the tower partially destroyed, the city breathing again, but still teetering on the edge of chaos. Superman and Hawkeye looked at each other, relief and determination shining in their eyes. But somewhere deep in the shadows, the alien's whispers lingered. Not everything is real. Not everything is safe. And soon, the final deception begins. The first illusions were broken, but the war for reality had only just begun. Superman's rage burned hotter than ever, not just at the alien, but at the cruel revelation that trust, perception, and even life itself could be weaponized against them. And somewhere, hidden in the twisting light of the city, the hybrid prepared its next move, ready to show the heroes that even their victories could be illusions. Rage unleashed. The city screamed. Fire licked the sides of skyscrapers, glass shattered like raindrops in slow motion, and the ground quaked under every impact. Superman hovered above, fists glowing, eyes blazing red with fury. Hawkeye crouched on a nearby rooftop, arrow knocked, muscles tense, ready to act. The hybrid alien had grown bolder, twisting reality, throwing illusions, and manipulating clones that seemed endless. But now, Superman's rage was no longer just anger. It was a weapon, a force of nature. "Stay sharp, Hawkeye!" Superman roared, voice carrying over the chaos. Every illusion, every clone, every trick, they're all feeding off fear. Hawkeye's eyes darted across the skyline, spotting one of the clones stepping out of a cloud of smoke. He fired an arrow, which struck true, shattering the illusion into fragments of glowing light. But more clones surged from every corner, each faster and more distorted than the last. The alien was testing their limits, pushing Superman to the edge of sanity. Superman's fists smashed through one clone, sending it flying into a burning car, which exploded on impact. Shockwaves rippled through the streets, scattering debris and terrified civilians. The hybrid appeared above the chaos, towering, grotesque, multiple limbs writhing, energy coursing through its body like molten veins. "Your rage blinds you," it hissed, "and that blindness will be your undoing." Superman's eyes narrowed. Rage isn't blindness, it's focus. With a surge of speed, he smashed into another clone, then another, moving faster than the eye could follow. The city itself seemed to bend around his fury, buildings trembling under the shock waves of his attacks. Hawkeye followed, taking down illusions with precision, working in tandem with Superman in a deadly, synchronized rhythm. The hybrid screeched, energy pulsing outward, bending reality itself. Streets warped, debris hovered in midair, and clones flickered, some vanishing, some multiplying. "You cannot destroy what is not real," the alien bellowed. "Your efforts are meaningless." Superman's rage roared back like a storm. "Nothing is meaningless when it threatens those I care about." With a final, earth-shattering punch, he smashed through the last wave of clones. The air shimmered, illusions dissolving into sparks of light, revealing the hybrid's true form. Twisted, alien, monstrous, yet vulnerable under the force of pure, unrestrained power. Hawkeye took a deep breath, drawing another arrow, his eyes locking on the alien's energy core. "We end this now," he shouted. Superman nodded, fists crackling with energy. Together, they launched a coordinated assault. Superman's fists struck like meteors, each blow sending shockwaves through the alien's form, while Hawkeye's arrows struck precise weak points, destabilizing the alien's energy field. Reality itself trembled as the hybrid shrieked, twisting violently, trying to manipulate the battlefield once more, but the hero's combined focus was unstoppable. With a final roar, Superman smashed through the alien's chest, energy exploding outward in a wave that knocked back debris, shattered illusions, and lit the city in a blinding glow. The hybrid screamed, faltering, its grotesque limbs writhing as the force of Superman's rage tore through its defenses. Hawkeye stepped forward, ensuring the alien could not recover, arrows aimed and ready to strike any remaining defenses. For a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. The city lay in ruins, smoke and fire painting the skyline, but the hybrid was weakening, reality slowly stabilizing around them. Superman's chest heaved, fists still glowing, eyes burning with the intensity of his fury. Hawkeye lowered his bow slightly, breathing hard, his sharp eyes scanning for any sign of continued deception. The alien's voice, now faint and ragged, echoed across the ruins. "This is not over." Superman's voice cut through, calm but deadly. "It is for now, but mark my words. If you ever threaten this world again, there will be no mercy." Hawkeye stepped closer to Superman, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You controlled it. Your rage had actually saved us." Superman's gaze softened, but his eyes remained glowing. Rage isn't just anger. It's a warning, a weapon. And if we don't control it, it controls us. The city lay battered but still standing. Fires burned, debris floated in the streets, and the air smelled of smoke and ozone. Superman hovered above, scanning the horizon, aware that the hybrid's threat, though weakened, was not entirely gone. Illusions and deceptions could rise again at any moment. Hawkeye drew a deep breath, bow lowered but ready. "We survived, But what's next? Superman's fists clenched once more, energy sparking around him. Next, we uncover the truth. No more illusions, no more lies. And we make sure this never happens again. The wind swept through the shattered city, carrying the echoes of screams, destruction, and the lingering presence of the hybrid. Superman and Hawkeye stood together, a team forged in chaos, rage, and the resolve to fight for the truth, no matter the cost.